Good afternoon. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on the time zones where people are joining from. This is Dharmesh Koda. I am President and CTO of Advair Solutions, and I will be joined by Darren Lang, who is our Senior Director at Advair Solutions. Today we will be talking about project and portfolio management, and especially when we are talking about project and portfolio management, we are going to talk about how it has been implemented on Microsoft platform. Our focus area for today's webcast will be mostly introduction to the technologies, and then we will have a series of webinars following, and we'll be sending out invitation regarding those to go over deeper topics, especially around project management and its science. Quick words about us. I promise that this webinar is going to be about you, so I will just take 1 minute about ourselves, and then we get into the details about what we are going to talk specifically around Microsoft Project. Advair Solutions is a company which takes care of technologies for you. Our focus, our motivation, our goal is to make sure that technology gets adopted within your organization and create a very optimized and very resourceful environment for various business users. We are Microsoft Gold certified partners, and we specialize in business processes, improving business productivity, and providing enhanced reporting for customers. Our core 4 areas of our offerings are around Microsoft Project Management, around developing internet-based solutions using Office 365 or SharePoint, helping customers to move from on-premises to the cloud using Office 365 and Microsoft Azure-based technologies, and also providing an environment where business users can create reports and create enhanced business intelligence out of the reporting, out of the data sets that they have. So with that, I will quickly talk about the topics that we are going to cover today. We will be talking about high level about what is project and portfolio management, and we'll get into the details because that taxonomy is going to be used a lot during the presentation. So we want to make sure that everybody is level set on when we say project and portfolio management. And then we jump into how Microsoft platform implements Microsoft project, specifically in terms of portfolio and project management solution. We will have a quick demonstration done by Darren. He will talk about kind of capabilities that get enabled out of box with Microsoft Project Online and with our set of tools and services that we provide over and enhance the experience for users. As I mentioned, throughout the demonstration, our goal will be to highlight the adoption key points, like how can we make these technologies adopted within our organizations. With that, I want to show you a screen or an image here, which says, which we probably might have heard a lot of time when we say right tools for right projects. Now, we say that we can use hammer on screws or a wrench on a nail. That's not the right set of technologies. So Darren, tell me what you want to say in this particular image.
Hi everyone. Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Thank you for joining our webinar. This is Darren Lang, and yeah, so we run across this frequently. A lot of times, you know, within an organization, especially a PMO that, you know, is getting started, you know, a lot of times they'll use, you know, Excel or, you know, even Word to manage their projects. And, you know, really when you start taking a look at, you know, how your projects are run and the processes that you use, you want to evaluate the available options to you and make sure and choose, you know, the tool or the platform that works best for you. And once you get, that tool in place and you start using it, you realize just how effective and how productive you can be with that tool. And I want to stress that it's really not about how clever you can be with an existing tool. It's really about what you can do to to enable the tools within your organization or within your platform that really help you to really do the best job that you can do. And in your evaluation, yeah.
Great. We clearly see a lot of green grass, and as an executive or as managers, we always look forward to looking at green grass. So clearly, the right tool will make a huge difference in optimizing and resulting in a great report for our executives.
Yes. So, yes, green is good.
Yep. So I see a lot of project management methodologies here. What do you want to showcase here?
Well, a lot of times project managers are going to learn a methodology that is applicable to their industry. If you're doing, some sort of construction work or manufacturing work or software development, you're going to choose a methodology that works best for you, whether it's, process intensive or organic. And you want to make sure and use a tool that supports the one or more methodology that you want to use. So, so that you can, ensure that, you have the right set of templates, the right set of processes in place. And, it's just really important for you to, evaluate the different, methodologies that you have internally and making sure that tool aligns with it so that you can have the greatest amount of adoption.
So when we use these many methodologies, won't it blur our vision on how the projects look like? How can you look at all the projects with the same lens?
Well, a lot of times when if you're using a tool that is not really suited for portfolio management, it causes you to have a kind of a blurred vision of what's going on within your portfolio. So if you're using Excel, you can create some fantastic project plans in Excel and other tools. But if you have no way of really bringing those together, or it requires a tremendous amount of effort to bring those projects together into a portfolio view, then and causing all kinds of additional work and low productivity, you're still just getting a blurred understanding of what your portfolio is. But by having a tool, right, that can really support your portfolio and is intended to manage a portfolio, then or a portfolio of portfolios, as they do in some methodologies. So you have a much richer, a much clearer picture of what's going on with your projects, with the resources that are involved in those projects, with your tasks, your risks, your other registries, within your project, and it just really gives you a much better picture and a much greater confidence that you're tracking all of the things that you really need to track to be successful as a project manager.
As an executive, I keep on looking for what is this particular project's status. So how can I universally look into my portfolio and talk about hey, can I get a quick status update on that particular project?
Yeah, so again, a tool, a portfolio tool that is intended for tracking portfolio management is really going to surface the detailed data points and metrics that you're interested in tracking. This includes creating, dashboards for your executive to make it easy for them to interact with the, portfolio and the different metrics so you can slice it. It also includes, understanding how those projects align to your internal, enterprise goals and making sure that you're executing the projects that you want to execute. And that having a tool that supports that really is going to help make that a lot easier. It's not this arduous task once every 6 months or once a quarter for you to pull all of this data across a significant amount of projects to get the kind of information you need to make a decision. And this is having a good portfolio tool is really going to make this a lot easier for you and make you a lot more productive.
Great. So when we look at these technologies, most of the time, most of the organizations that I deal with and most of our customers, they have already invested a lot on Microsoft Office or Microsoft Office 365 based technologies. So can you talk about how those technologies can be extended to work in our project management arena?
Yeah, so when we take a look at Microsoft's solution for portfolio management, it's fantastic because it's built on top of SharePoint. And we've known SharePoint for a long time, and we've known, and for many of us that are using SharePoint for the last, 15, 20 years, we know how powerful it can be at surfacing information and to integrate many different line of business applications, into our daily activity. Along with O365, SharePoint really is a fantastic platform that Microsoft clearly has invested in. And Project Online is a app inside of SharePoint. So not only do you get all of these great features available in a portfolio management platform like Project Online or Project Server, you also get the all of the benefits of SharePoint, like SharePoint security, SharePoint, the management of document libraries and lists, etc. And it's just a great way to get to have this platform available to everyone. So when you have internal internal pages and you have projects that you're managing on it, along with the other line of business applications and mobile access and basically your applications anywhere on any device, you can rely on SharePoint and Project Online to provide that to you.
Great. So you mean to say that we don't have to worry about creating different user logins or maintaining different passwords. It's going to be all integrated with my core business productivity platform, Office 365. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. And the administrative experience is very similar in Project Online that it is in SharePoint. The user experience is very consistent with SharePoint and Project Online. So it just makes it a really great platform for adoption and for managing your portfolio. So it really is this really nice sweet spot for being productive and managing your portfolio.
Great. Then how do I start on this? How do I get started?
Yeah, so what you want to do is, like any program that you're going to adopt, you want to focus on, your business scenarios and identify those, different scenarios and those different features that align to those scenarios and start building out a set of pages and dashboards that really reduce the friction of adoption. So we want to make it easy for people to adopt the system. And what we can do then is to surface the information from Project Online that makes it easy for people to do their job and making them intuitive, informative, and productive. And so really you want to take advantage of your adoption programs with Project Online and really deliver in that way. And this includes enhancing the team sites, right? So that you have these, dashboards, whether it's a risk dashboard or a automated status report or even mobile access, right? You can, take advantage of all of the platform and really make it available and easy for people to adopt. And that's really important.
Well, yes, it is. I mean, definitely, weekly status report is one big pain point that I keep on seeing with our customers, and they keep on complaining that they spend more than like 2 to 3 hours or 4 hours a week on every project to just collect the weekly status and report it to report it to their stakeholders in a standardized format. And another pain point I keep on looking at is basically having access to quick entry or quick timesheet entry. So I'm glad that you're talking about those.
Yeah, so whether you're using an agile approach or waterfall methodology, having the ability to put in, hours and tasks so that you can communicate that percent complete and, how much effort you put into it, as well as, what kind of remaining effort is required to complete the task, is a form of communication and collaboration within the team and within the project manager. And it really makes it, easy for those team members to keep you updated as a project manager or portfolio manager, to find, updated on what's going on with your tasks, et cetera. So let me switch over and give you a little demo. How's that sound?
It sounds really great.
Yeah, I'm just going to switch over to Chrome. It seems to be, a decent tool and common, well used. Whoops. So you can see on this particular page, this is Project Online. So this is the add value implementation of Project Online. Add value is a quick start, Project Online quick start tool or a set of pages that allow enterprises to take advantage of their O365 and Project Online purchases and licenses so that they can, really surface the information. We've been doing Project Online now, for, 15 or plus years. And so we've kind of isolated and identified these, different areas where, it's easy for us to, identify these features that a lot of customers have, and so what we've done is just put them all together in this add value that makes it, quick, so you can get started quickly. You can, get some instant return on investment, and we make this really easy to deploy. So if you've never had, if you're not using Project Online now, but you have licenses and you're just kind of waiting to figure out, what to do, then, this really helps you get started quickly so that you can, really get these attractive, good-looking dashboards. So we've created
Okay.
role-based
So,
dashboards. Yeah, go ahead,
so
Don.
Darren, you mentioned that it's part of Office 365. So people who have Office 365, they can easily get this as an additional license and make it part of their Office 365 experience.
Yeah. So you can contact me or Dharmesh or your Microsoft representative about getting licenses if you don't have them already. But it's likely, it's possible that you have them, you're just not using them. A lot of times, when people sign up for O365, if they have a certain license level, they have access to Project Online. And it's possible that people have purchased Project Online so that they can get a license of Project Pro. So it's fantastic. You're using Project Pro. You're just not using your Project Online portfolio tool, your platform yet. And so in those situations, you want to, let us know. Let us help you get up so that you can, get up to speed, get, quickly and start using this and start understanding your portfolio much, much better. So whether you're running, 10 projects, 3 projects, or 500 projects, using a portfolio tool like project online is really going to create that visibility that we're talking about. But we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. So maybe I can just run through these dashboards real quick. This data, the data that is making up this dashboard, are projects that were created in Project Pro and saved to the project online. So when I look at a individual project, I can look at the activities that is happening, that are supposed to be completed this week or that are active this week. I can look at the risks and issues. I can see what my velocity is, the number of tasks that are completed for this week. So I can see this as a project manager. I can see this. When I switch over to the executive dashboard, it's a little bit different information because the executive has a little different, a different, kind of metrics that he's paying attention to. The executive might be, focused on financial stats and some earned value statistics. So there's a lot of flexibility on what information can be surfaced to the different roles, whether you're a project manager, an executive, a resource manager. You can have these custom roles. So it reduces friction for adoption. So it makes it easier for people to start using the tool. Obviously, getting the executive on board is a big win. So you want to get these dashboards. We also have a team member dashboard that allows team members to access information and their team sites about the projects that they're working on. So if I am a team member and I have assignments on a project, right, I can go here. I can look at each one of my projects and I can see which tasks I should be working on. I can click on that task, open it up, or I can go to the team site. And in the team site, we also have have it customized a little bit for the add value. That just shows these tiles up here on what the tasks are, where they're at. I have these links where I can click on them and open them up. I can also see my risks, my issues. If I want to create a new issue, I can click on the little plus sign. It'll create a new issue. Or if I'm in the risk tile, I can click on it and open up a new risk. We can also dynamically add links to your different document libraries. Earlier I talked about taking advantage of SharePoint because this is a SharePoint application, and we can create those additional document libraries or lists and add them to this related links section so that it just makes it really easy for you to be productive. We also have a burn down. If you're interested in seeing the burn down, it just allows you to click on it and expose that information so that you can keep track of what each person's doing, what their billable hours are, etc. And the nice part about that project burn is we don't have to look at it all the time. We can just put it on here and look at it when we need to. We can also, because this is a SharePoint page, we can add all of the different little apps that go with SharePoint. We can add them on these pages and make it part of your default for your projects. So that just makes it a great way to stay collaborative. Whether it's a Yammer post or a link to a team project, we can have that on here as well. Additionally, for add value, what we're doing is creating a risk dashboard. So in the risk dashboard, it will show which risks are in different severity areas. So whether it's a red, yellow, or green risk from a severity and probability perspective, then it just makes it a great way. And you can click on these cells and you can see which one they are. And by selecting the risk up above, you can see the information about it as well. You can look through the description, the details, mitigation, etc. For each one of these risks. So this risk dashboard is a great way, again, just to surface information, make sure you're focused in the right area, and really being productive on your project and managing it in a way. And then we also have for the add value, we have a automated weekly status report. So if you're filling in those risks, they're going to be listed here, and you're going to be able to include them in your status report, your issues logs, your deliverables milestone, and your weekly project summary. So these are all of the future tasks, current tasks, and future tasks. So when I'm ready to create this status report, all I need to do is put in a date for my week ending. I can fill in my project summary, and then I click report, create the report. And what it does is it creates an HTML version of the report. And I can do one final check on this, and then I click on the save and copy. It tells me that it's saved a copy to the status report folder, and it's copied it into the clipboard. So after I've got that copied, all I need to do now is, so let me pull over a Word document, and I'm just hitting the paste. So when I paste it, it pastes it right into the Word document, and now I have a status report that's ready for me to, maybe I want to make some additional comments or something. I can go ahead and do that right here in this Word document, just as you would expect. Or if you put it in an email, right, you can update that right into your status report, and then when you send it out, you have it. And then I have a copy of that as well on my team site. So, taking a look at your portfolio, and this is a list of all of my projects. So this is the kind of a default project center view of my portfolio, whether I'm looking at the ones that are managed by myself or all of the projects grouped by different phases. I can, see what's going on in my portfolio, and I can, drill into any one of them that I need to. I can, I have links over here to access the team site or the list of risks, etc., or to open up in Project Pro. So I can click on this icon, opens up in Project Pro, and I can use all of the features within Project Pro, including, the regular task, resource management, etc. Or I can manage it right here from the browser as well. So if you're not excited about using, Project Pro because there's so many features, you definitely can, use the browser as well.
So I see that we have a lot of dashboards and a lot of reports here so that we can make people's life easier and pinpoint the status report or pinpoint the issues or risks that we are challenged with right now. How does I also see that we have used Power BI a lot, and we talk about Power BI in our other webinars. So what you mean to what we can do is basically we can add outside information with and multiply it with our project level information to showcase the complete picture, right, Aaron?
Yeah, so if you're using, Power BI, this is fantastic. You have your Power BI licenses. However, for those customers that are not using Power BI, we do have a web version as well that we can show. Power BI is great, but sometimes there are reasons why an organization or an enterprise cannot use Power BI. So we've developed, this page as well, so that people can, see what's going on with their projects and have the same kind of, interactive experience to, see what's going on with their projects. So, and this does not require a Power BI license. It's just, a page that we've created in SharePoint. So it's a great way for you to keep up to date on, your project metrics. This is an executive dashboard, but you can keep track of your, metrics, your SPI, your CPI, and as well as, your budget information, It kind of identifies which projects might be, of concern. So you can look at those as well. And then if you want to bring in some additional details from other systems, we can incorporate that as well. So if you have CRM or other external systems, we can build that into your dashboard as well. And we have these for project manager as well. So you have the executive, the project manager, and the team member page that do not use that does not use Power BI and that does not use a professional license of Project Online, so you can get away with using the really inexpensive license, the like $7 a month license, Project Online. So it just makes it really inexpensive to use.
So our idea of including these dashboards and these role-based landing pages is basically to ensure that the system, the technology that we're trying to implement to optimize our project and portfolio management gets adopted. So as a team member, I don't need to roam around this particular complicated website. I just land onto my team member dashboard and I look at my task, I look at my activities that I need to do this week. As a resource manager, I land into my resource management dashboard automatically and I look at my day-to-day activities that I need to perform.
Yeah, so Project Online, we've talked about how it creates visibility for projects from a portfolio perspective and then from a team perspective with the team SharePoint. But I also want to just point out that there is this resource utilization as well as the resource manager dashboard that I showed earlier that shows what tasks individuals are working on based on their role, which is a great way for a resource manager to keep track of all the activities that they're working on. This also is a great way, and you can click on the different individuals from the legend, and it adds and removes them, so you can kind of see what's going on. It looks like, Dharmesh, you have a bunch of assignments starting at the first of the year, but right now you're not very utilized. It looks like you might be taking a vacation there, I'm going to guess, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so it makes it a great way for you to really see what's going on with your resources, right? And that's what I meant earlier about creating visibility into your resources and your projects. I can also see all of the projects that each one of the resources are working on. So this is a great, and again, this is all surface because Project Online is part of SharePoint, which is part of O365, and it's just a great platform to keep track of everything.
Great. So today we got introduced to this beautiful piece of technology which is called Microsoft Project and Portfolio Management. I believe we will be running a series of webinars to go into the details of these technologies and talk about specific technical details or implementation details around each piece of technologies. So I would encourage you guys to join in our future webinars to go into the details.
Yeah, so exactly, and you really want to take advantage of some of the internal purchases and portals that you already have, and just make that technology work for you. So with that, we just want to give you an opportunity to ask questions, and then also if you would. Fill out a little survey on the webinar. We have our QR code here that you can just use your phone and you can take a picture of it right now and fill out the survey, or you can fill it out later. And if you are interested in, after filling out the survey, we're happy to give you a kind of a free 2-hour one-on-one Project Online dashboard session. So if you want to get a little bit deeper for your particular enterprise, we're happy to offer that to you by filling out the survey. So let's see if there were any questions from anybody. As a matter of fact, I'll look through this list, but what I'm going to do is unmute everyone. So if you have any questions, don't be shy. Just blurt out your question, and I'm happy to answer them or go over something. I see that we have a question about JIRA and TFS, and this is completely integrated. You can absolutely integrate, Project Online with TFS and JIRA. There's some great connectors. We have a connector for JIRA and TFS. I'm not planning to demo that today, but you can totally do that. Additionally, in Project Pro, in the latest release of Project Pro 2016, there's an Agile capabilities within Project Pro, and that is also, you can make that work for you in Project Online as well. We've created a little add-in until so that you can see and surface that Agile information from your Project Pro plan to Project Online, so that your sales staff or your product managers can have access to that information as well from Project Online. And then, we're gonna spend some time talking about Agile in a future webinar. So really, this webinar was intended to provide a foundation for those that are new or that are interested in using Project Online. Are there any other questions?
Our contact information is available on the screen right now, so please feel free to reach out to us at any time if you have any specific question that you may not want to discuss in a public forum, but if you want to discuss one-on-one, please feel free to reach out to any of us, and we'll be happy to answer all your questions or all your...
and again, if you fill out the survey, we'll contact you if to see if you want to have, a little conversation, a little workshop about Project Online and dashboards and how we can incorporate your business data into those Project Online dashboards. We can spend that with you as well. So, and we will be sending out a link to the deck and this recording to everyone who attended. So you'll make that available as well. Let's see, I got a question about how can we get started with something that is minimal for Project Online, because there's so many features available. What I would say is that, I always want to approach your adoption of a tool, using some really best practices for adoption, which is, understanding kind of what your business scenarios are. But Project Online is, you can get it started out of the box. I mean, that's one of their marketing statements, is that out of the box you can use Project Online. We put together a few of these dashboards and different pages to make it so that you realize your return on investment faster. But there are probably some very simple things that you can do. And by the way, the add value quick start package, whether you're just getting started or whether you've been using it for a year and a half and it's time for you to do it a little bit of a digital transformation, the quick start is a great way for you to kind of take it to the next level. And the quick start guide is very, very reasonable, fixed price package. So, if you're interested in the quick start guide, the add value quick start, let me know, and we can give you an idea of just how reasonable it would be to get you going. But you definitely want to focus on resources and projects. You want to identify the fields in your project plan that are going to be really important for you to surface at a portfolio level. So whether it's a internal project health indicator or some sort of financial KPI metric that you want to calculate using project data, just identify those fields, and then start getting people to save their project plans to Project Online instead of saving them to their local file share or their local PCs. And just by doing that simple thing, it's going to give you a portfolio that you can start, further enhancing and looking at.
Yeah. So there are overwhelming feature sets available on Project Online and Office 365 and SharePoint. What we can do is basically we can minimize the exposure to as many feature sets as we can. And the idea is basically to make sure that the core set of users look at the things that are meant for them, and they don't get distracted with other things. So that's the idea behind putting together this add value pack with the customized landing pages, so that people don't get into too many extra feature sets and they kind of get focused towards the things that they should be focused towards. As a part of add value package, as Darren mentioned, we basically work with you to ensure what is the minimalistic implementation that needs to be done in order to make the best use of the investment that you have made. And that's an exercise that we do with you, and it's a week to 2 week long engagement cycle, which kind of gives you a quick way of realizing the benefits of Project Online.
Yeah, so whether you're like I said, new to Project Online, or you're been using it for a while, a lot of times there's a set of kind of features and adoption areas and adoption scenarios that you want to focus on. And like I said earlier, it's really a great idea to write down what those adoption scenarios are and how they align to the features within either the line of business applications that you have now, or into Project Online features and capabilities, so that you understand which adoption scenario is going to provide you with the greatest amount of benefit. And you can sometimes group those scenarios together based on the feature, and you want to focus on those things that are obviously the highest priority scenarios, and the ones that are the easiest to deploy, the biggest bang for your buck. And then obviously you want to try and figure out how to measure your adoption scenario so that you can report on how well it's being adopted. But I get a little bit too far down the road. So yeah, there's a lot of great ways to start depending on where you're at in your journey. Absolutely. Let's see, are there any other questions? Well, with that, we'll bring the webinar to a close. We'll give you back a little bit of extra time, 15 minutes or so. So, but if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And again, if you fill out the survey, I sound like a broken record, but if you fill out the survey and are interested in free 2 hours of one-on-one time, then we'll provide that to you, get it scheduled, and we can work through that together. So I hope everybody enjoyed their time, and again, let me know if you have any questions. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.